Bruh. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of what makes this game awesome. I know it's been a while, sorry about that, but I'm finally all set up and ready to record again. Now, I never owned or played Super Mario Maker, but after seeing what the community eventually became, I really wanted to get in early on Super Mario Maker 2. So I actually ended up getting the game on day 1 and then left it until now to make a video on it, which just says a lot about how amazing my upload schedule is. I love the freedom that games like Little Big Planet, Dreams, and even Super Mario Maker 1 give the community, and how they can really keep the game alive. So today I wanted to talk about Super Mario Maker 2 and how it compares to these games, and really just what makes this game awesome. For those of you who don't already know, Mario Maker is a series of games that allow you to create and play community-made Mario levels using a provided stage editor and the online community built by Nintendo. Some amazing level ideas utilizing the Mario Maker engine have been made by fans, and with Mario Maker 2 expanding on this engine, the complexity of levels has quickly grown on Mario Maker 2, resulting in an already blooming community. From the second this game was announced, Nintendo promised some lofty goals to reach. A full story mode with hundreds of Nintendo-created levels, lots of items heavily requested by the community, full 4-player local multiplayer, and even online multiplayer, alongside all of the features of Super Mario Maker 1. I can honestly say that, at least in some way, Nintendo did deliver on all of these fronts, even if some of them are implemented better than others. Mario Maker 2's storyline is a simple one. The Builder Toads and Captain Toadette have just finished building Princess Peach's castle when Undo Dog, this cute little pupper, accidentally hits the reset rocket and deletes all of their progress. To rebuild the castle, you need to play Nintendo's levels made in the Mario Maker engine to collect coins, which you can spend on rebuilding the castle. It's quite a basic story mode, with no real overworld map and more of a level selection menu, but it's quite different to the other Mario story modes Nintendo has released in their 2D games recently, and I think lots of the levels themselves shine with Nintendo's creativity within the engine. That always drew me to Mario games. There are no star coins in this mode, which is a pain because I liked 100% Mario games, but they are replaced with big coins that grant you larger quantities of coins when collected. It's not the same, but it's something. The levels span across all of the included game modes, which are Super Mario Bros., Super Mario Bros. 3, Super Mario World, Super Mario Bros. U, and the biggest deviation from the previous game, Super Mario 3D Land. Each engine retains most of the mechanics from its original engine, with creative liberties taken to ensure that all of the essential features are available in all the game modes, like adding checkpoints to Super Mario Bros., which doesn't have them in the original game. These additions have all been done in the original art style and fit in perfectly with the look of each game mode, which is some attention to detail that I really like. When you complete the story mode of the game, you unlock a few extra items to use in your levels. These include the Fire Flower from Super Mario Land that bounces off walls, as well as the new Mario Maker suit for 3D World that lets you break bricks and create crates out of nowhere. So the story mode was really fun to run through, but I did kind of find it disappointing that Nintendo's own levels didn't support co-op. I found this super disappointing because it was kind of a big staple of the new Super Mario Bros. Series. I played that with a lot of my friends, and I was kind of hoping to do the same thing with this game. However, I was wrong. And I'm going to come back to multiplayer later in my review, because in this game it has had a complicated past. This is the reason most people are buying the game, to be honest, and it's definitely an improvement on the previous game's level editor. The game uses a grid system and allows you to build levels by placing items on this grid. You can freely change the game engine that you wish to use and the world type that you want in this game engine, and all of the worlds are consistent through every game style. The items are divided into different tile sets. Tiles, items, enemies, and gizmos. When you drop these onto the grid, you can add or change properties about some of them by selecting and holding them, and it pops up with an extra menu. There are way too many to go into now, but the new additions are slopes, which allow you to slide down them and kill enemies, the Angry Sun and Happy Moon, icicles, twisters, and on-off blocks. If you change the Angry Sun into the Happy Moon, you actually unlock a night mode for each world type as well, which allows you to change some aspect of the world, like having anti-gravity enemies or the screen flipped upside down or something like that, and then it stays unlocked forever once you do this. Just these items alone add so much more to the game than the original, as they allow for more complex logic behind the level, and also for the level to have more style and stand apart from the more grid-based look of the previous game's levels. To be honest, now, when building levels, I rarely can't find the item I want. There's a more limited set of power-ups than I'd like, but bar that, I just wish more enemies allowed for further customization. Something like adding banzai bills to tracks, having buzzy beetles in the 3D world style, which they definitely should have done by now, or having twisters blow in different directions, or even suck Mario towards them would be a great addition. I tend to find that the limitations can promote some really interesting level designs, but I do really hope that these options are expanded upon in future updates. Okay, so here's the thing. I've been making this review literally since day one of Mario Maker, and they have updated the game twice and added a lot more items into the game now. Lots of the physics of the game have been massively changed, and all of the new power-ups and items that they've added, in some cases, are quite literally a game changer. They just added pokies, spikes, dash blocks, frozen coins, a lot more, and most importantly for me, a Link power-up, which is sick because I am a massive Zelda fan. These actually give quite a lot more freedom when designing levels, and the new power-ups really do change the way that you can design some levels, with different ideas for puzzle levels, platformers, and especially the Link-based power-up giving a lot more freedom for designing interesting 2D combat levels or puzzle levels. I mean, it basically lets you design 2D Zelda games now, not just put a costume on Mario. Unfortunately, if you take damage, it comes off and you just turn back into regular Mario, which throws a spanner in the works, but you can get around this, it's just a little awkward sometimes. Even still, with what we have combined with the freedom to control the time allowed in the level and the exact movement and speed of an auto-scrolling camera, as well as the direction it scrolls, makes up for this, as it has made for some amazing traditional speedrunning puzzle and many more types of levels. Nintendo, thank you so much for letting us customize the camera this freely. It is honestly amazing. This is exactly the kind of thing I would want in a Mario Maker. Some creators, like Sieve Gaming on YouTube, have already explored some amazing possibilities within the engine, adding in mechanics that keep the levels interesting by using some interesting arrangements of items in the game, such as a level that gives you a random set of rooms to explore, decided randomly every time you play through the level. They've literally got random generation working in this game. As the game grows in popularity and people learn more about how it works, more and more advanced stuff will be possible, which is genuinely really exciting. And even the updates that the game is getting are changing this as we go. When compared to games like Dreams or even Little Big Planet, the difference between the creative freedom is quite apparent. These games, especially Dreams, let you customize everything about the levels, down to the logic of every single object. Super Mario Maker, as a series, has a different goal in mind though, to let anyone make really polished Mario levels. They sacrifice the complete creative freedom for the ease of the majority, making simple, platforming Mario levels, while still providing the possibility in the engine for more advanced mechanics to be worked around. There are some super advanced levels out there, genuinely incredible. People have made locks, people have made levels that can count in real time how many times you've jumped, and with some wonderful level design, even surpassing Nintendo's own created levels, there's something out there for everyone. In terms of finding levels, you can either find them in the new, popular, or hot tabs, as well as searching by genre, game style, and lots more. You can also find them by manually typing in a specific level's code or playing Endless Challenge, where you see how many random levels you can beat in a row, starting with between 5 and a lot more lives depending on if you're playing easy, medium, hard, or very hard. But getting a level out there can be quite frustrating, as Nintendo has shifted the recommendation algorithm to heavily favor the players and not the makers. If your level doesn't get at least one like, it will never reach hot or popular, and because of that, it will never get recommended to other players. To get around this, both Mario Maker and Mario Maker 2 have some really great level exchanges where you post your newly published level, and then people go along, play it, hopefully leave a like, and at that point your level will get recommended to lots of other people. I think this is actually not a bad way of getting around the system, but I do kind of wish that you didn't have to get around it. And until very recently, it was a lot more problematic because Nintendo only let you upload 32 levels at once, although they just changed that, so now I believe you can upload 64. Now, one of the things I was looking forward to most about this game was the multiplayer. There was a lot of footage shown of playing as all of the different characters, and I couldn't wait to play some of the community-made levels with my friends. I wasn't expecting anything new, just the kind of stuff I'd come to expect from the new Super Mario Bros. Series. However, the multiplayer in this game is so shit, is what I would say, except Nintendo had to go and ruin my review and actually try and fix some of the problems with their video game. How inconsiderate. Initially in this game, the local multiplayer was ass. It made you download a level in order to play it with friends, which meant that it was super inconvenient to actually sit down and play with people. Now, Nintendo have added this nifty little button to play levels with local multiplayer on the fly, which is genuinely a godsend. It still makes me sad that they didn't make the story levels multiplayer, but there is still some fun to be had from playing the community levels like this. It handles death like in New Super Mario Bros., where dead players respawn in bubbles after a short amount of time, and to bring them back, you need to pop them. The online multiplayer is still in a similar state to when the game began though, which isn't great. There are lots of different objectives that you need to complete to win a level, ranging from reaching the end of the level to beating an enemy first, and a lot more. This, at surface level, is a pretty cool idea, but Nintendo has made it quite hard to develop levels for multiplayer, and the ability to steal win conditions from other players kind of ruins the experience for me. While I was recording this review, I couldn't even get online multiplayer footage because I just kept getting connection errors, so I guess it doesn't work incredibly. Unfortunately, the level design for multiplayer tends to be quite lacking. Most of the levels that you end up playing are designed for single player because it's a lot easier to develop for and can easily be broken or are impossible for multiple players. I've run into this problem a lot when playing with my friends, and unfortunately, the camera is not very good at figuring out who to follow, and it stays a fixed distance away, which makes it a lot easier to be dragged off the screen or killed. It's kinda hard to demonstrate through a video, but I've tried to convey it in this level. As you can see, the camera follows the person falling and kills both players, which is a big no-no. Anyway, separate from that, another new mode they added is called Ninja Speedruns. It's kind of like a Mario Battle Royale, where everyone is given the same Nintendo-made level and has to speedrun it. The faster you are, the higher you're ranked, until you get some colored stamps for being in different categories of speed. It doesn't have many levels at the moment, but it's a super cool mode, and I'm really looking forward to playing this a lot more. Now, I really wanted the local multiplayer to be amazing, and while it does kind of hold up now after the update, there are still some glaring issues with it, the camera being one of the biggest ones for me. I really love the camera in the new Super Mario Bros. Series, how it scales out to fit all the characters in the screen, and I understand that you can't really do that in Mario Maker without kind of breaking the game a little bit, but I do wish it was better than what it is. However, that being pushed out the way, the actual experience of the game is really, really good, and especially single player, I love playing this game. They've recently added some things to make playing cooperatively more interesting, and while the online versus mode has some issues, it's still pretty good and it's worth checking out for yourself. I am definitely no expert level designer, but even I find it fun to just sit down and throw together a 2D level every now and again. The fact that it's portable on a handheld console so I can take it with me makes it great for journeys as well, because I can design and play levels for a long time. If I'm on a train or a plane or something, it's really good for that. I do really enjoy playing the community's levels as well, even if the algorithm can be a little fucked sometimes. Overall, there are just lots of little touches that I really like about this game, and there at least were quite a few glaring issues that Nintendo has at least attempted to fix, and from the looks of the updates, they are going to continue to add more content and more fixes to this game. In a few cases, they actually completely changed the physics of the game to get rid of some glitches and bugs that were stopping people enjoying the game as much. So hopefully they continue to update this game with new items, new fixes, new game modes, even with the new Ninja Speedrun mode. I just really hope that they support this community because it has the potential to become huge and already has. So overall, with everything taken into consideration, I would give Super Mario Maker 2 an 8 out of 10. The game styles are really well done, with obvious care taken to make sure that switching in between game styles isn't too jarring. They managed to maintain the feel of each game style while adding new items that were never present in that game, which is quite impressive. Each of the themes has their own slightly unique twist, and with the addition of night modes and specific enemies, it can make for some really interesting levels. Being able to customize everything as well, from the music playing to little sound effects when you walk through things or screen effects, and also the ability to make some really detailed logical contraptions in the game. It just makes this game charming in its own special way, and I definitely think it is worth a try if you have a Nintendo Switch. The hit and miss multiplayer and the flawed level recommendation algorithm are what really bring this down for me, but I can totally understand why it's like that, and I just hope that they continue to fix this in the future. Also, the fact that it needs a Nintendo Online Pass, but to be honest, it's not that much, and I've found that I end up using it on quite a few games, so if you already have a Nintendo Online Pass, then I would recommend that you get it, but if you're buying a Nintendo Online Pass just for this game, I don't know if it's worth it for that. The community is only going to continue to grow as the game goes on, and I really look forward to seeing what comes out of it. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to stay updated with the channel. If you want to stay updated with the channel, then also check out my Twitter on screen now and in the description, which is probably my most active social media, so that's probably the place to get in touch with me if you wanted to. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next video, so see you there.